Previously on that bull.
And my issue with both sides of this, whether if you're a black woman not coming to the defense of a black man because of old tweets, or if you're a black man not coming to the defense of a black woman over old tweets, is are we going to set the standard that now if anybody gets done in and we find out about it via social media, are we really going to spend our time checking everyone's social medias to make sure that they're a good person and that they've never said anything controversial or derogatory or dumb, stupid, immature at any point in their lifetime? Because I'm fine with it if that's the hill everybody's willing to die on. I'm gonna just need everybody to keep it consistent. I don't need people saying, oh wait, this one is different. Oh wait, this is not the same thing. Oh, this is not similar to this. I need everybody to keep that consistent. I would just like to sit here and give myself the old pat on the back and the self-congratulatory jerk of the meat, because when I said these things months ago, years ago, I had people on my back. I had people on my body telling me I didn't know what I was talking about, telling me I was wrong, telling me that I didn't understand the plight of the emotions of a bunch of delusional people who are desperate for somebody to care about their mundane life and why they're not in a relationship. Newsflash, it's your own fault. Why? Because you're miserable.
And people are mad because they're lonely.
You are still in your big one for that, Moral. Mwah. Props to you. But it's the fact that I had so many people jumping down my throat when I said all these things that were correct. It's astonishing. I don't do things or say things to try to appease a bunch of people. I didn't do it to try to get a white woman to breathe down my neck. I didn't do it for any form of gratification. I say these things based off of my own life experience and the unconsensual reputation of having to open social media and have my ears be traumatized by stupid, delusional people who are desperate for somebody to care because they spend their time watching single people podcasts and wondering why they gotta masturbate alone. But for anyone who's not on the up and up and you're a little bit confused by what I showed you at the beginning, well, put this in a scenario. A black man dates a white woman and the white woman kills the black man. And before all of the for the people individuals puff their chest out and say justice for insert name here, they comb through social media to see if this person is someone worthy of the pomp and circumstance of making up a bunch of fanatical stories on Facebook to try to prove that this black man is an innocent type of person, because that's what is really going to make somebody care about a story, a bunch of bullshit. And they find out that this brother really wasn't about the sisters. So the sisters stand up proudly and say, hey, this ain't our fight. We don't care. And at the time, people were a little bit off by that, because what happens if we flip the script and it's a black woman and a white man? Well, you didn't have to wait too long for that one, because when it happened, you had the for the people individuals once again, this time on the men's side, saying, hold on, let's comb through this Facebook real quick. Let's see a little something. Oh, what's this Facebook post that you liking and sharing and reposting being derogatory towards black men? Hey, black men, this ain't our fight. And I'm looking at both sides of this really dumbass coin and saying, wow, I really need a different fucking coin, because this is fucking ridiculous. And to all of those people, I called them stupid then, and I'm calling you stupid now. But a couple months ago, we had this same scenario where black man dates white woman, and white woman seemingly took out that black man. And as of a couple days ago, as of me recording this on the 1st of June, happy Pride Month to all my gays out there, you got the news that the white woman is not being charged. And you know what? That's not really something I could get into, because the legal system is the legal system. And to jump through all those hoops to figure out why is something that I would dedicate time to on a different day. But when I made the video talking about how it's still kind of fucking stupid how your black life don't matter depending on what you post on social media, I had people jumping down my throat. And to those people who were very upset at me that I sat there and said, the life still matters even if the motherfucker is tweeting some shit that's not really favorable to you, you do realize that if we're going about this stupid standard, your life don't hold that much weight either. Because if we were to comb through who you follow, who you like, who you engage with, and we were to find out that you weren't a big fan of insert group here, I guess your fucking life don't matter either, because a hit dog tends to holler when the circumstances benefit you and when they don't benefit you. But that leads us to what I said, how it will always flip, because I got this really big ass head, and with this big ass head, I am able to remember shit. When I said it all those years ago, for those two first instances, I knew it was gonna repeat itself all over again. Why? Because we live in a world where a bunch of people get on social media and they describe the reasons why they suck in a relationship. And these people detail in great graphic detail how they suck in relationships, but they put the blame on the opposite gender because their lives are that fucking terrible. Incels, red pill men, red pill women, you all are fucking losers and you are desperate. How do I know this? You motherfuckers on social media see a story about a new black woman who went on a date. They weren't, I believe, a couple. They went on a date, and this white man killed that woman, and it's been some gory fucking details. He's currently in trial right now, and I'ma just spoil the plot. I want him in jail forever. Fuck that. I want him to get the chair because that's what the fuck he deserved. But for some reason, because this is not the first time we've talked about this scenario, we had people when this first became news saying, hey, that's what you get for going on a date with a white dude.
One, I clearly blame this on divestors and swirlers. So you get the women that come on here who are all day about the white man's ice is colder and better. And then these black women run out with the first white man and shit like this happens. Because you got to convince that it's going to be that much better. You don't properly vet. And you make, unfortunately, careless mistakes. All we hear about is you're dating a black man. He's got to do all of this stuff. He has to do, he's got to spend $500 on dinner. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. And you're still not going home with him. No vetting, no figuring out, getting to know anybody in any way, shape, or form like you would with a black person, black man. And this shit happens. Like, again, these swirlers and divestors have this idealized vision of what white men are, and they're 99 miles away from right. Y'all let y'all guard down, y'all make reckless mistakes.
And now that the trial has come about yet again, and we're getting new updates and new details, you would think a kind-hearted soul would say, justice for that person, because you were taken from this life in the most gory way possible, and it wasn't fair, and fuck the person that killed you.
First here at 4, those new details in the death of Sade Robinson as revealed in newly unsealed search warrants.
Robinson went missing after a first date on April 1st. Investigators say someone found her leg on the beach at Cudahy's Warnemont Park the next day. Her burned out car and other body parts were discovered near 30th and Lisbon later that week. 12 News' Hannah Hilliard is live at Milwaukee Police Sheriff's Office. And Hannah, new information is now coming from a confidential informant.
Right, Kristen and Derek, it's all detailed in this search warrant recently unsealed. It says a confidential informant actually met with Milwaukee County Sheriff detectives on April 15th, and it describes a visit this person had at Maxwell Anderson's home back in early March. Now, this confidential informant says, or a CI told investigators they went into Maxwell Anderson's basement. They described a room in the basement with a sanitation sink and tarps, quote, taped to the floor and the ceiling, covering the walls and the floor. They also told detectives Anderson admitted to planning Robinson's death. Anderson is facing charges of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson. Now, in a statement this afternoon, Anderson's attorney denies these new allegations, saying in part, while we have not been provided with the name of this individual, the information provided by him or her is completely untrue.
And based on the informant's conversations with police, Hannah, detectives searched for certain evidence inside Anderson's home.
Right, Kristen, they were looking for those painter's tarps mentioned by this confidential informant, or any sort of tape residue that may have indicated those tarps hanging from the ceiling or the floor of Anderson's basement. Coming up tonight on WISN 12 News at 6, we'll go into greater detail about what was actually found as a result of these search warrants.
Right? Not on social media, where you got a bunch of hurt feelings from people who got their heart broken in the 8th fucking grade and they still can't get over it.
Sade Robinson, that's the sister who went out with a zaddy. I didn't really talk about it because it's so damn typical at this point. Because it's almost redundant. Unfortunately, and God bless that sister, she didn't deserve to die, but and there's no buts, but the sister who went out with a zaddy, and zaddy does what zaddy does. Damn. All right? Zaddy does what zaddy does.
Black men, Sade Robinson ain't our fight. She not our fight. If you don't know who Sade Robinson is, let me give you a little update. Sade Robinson is a 19-year-old black woman that wanted to divest. She was with that pasta and lobster. She wanted a white man because white men were better. And if you check out her social media, she was definitely praising the pasta and lobster lifestyle. She ain't want nothing to do with black men. The reason why she ended up at, what's his name? Maxwell Anderson's house. She ended up there because she was trying to trick. Why else would a 19-year-old woman be with a 33-year-old white man? She wanted him to trick, but he had a treat for her instead. And before y'all say I'm being too harsh, don't black women laugh and praise every time something tragic happens to a black man when he dates outside his race? And I'm not saying at all that she deserved what happened to her. I hope she's resting in peace. Again, it's just time for black men to give black women the same energy that they give us when we in these situations. Hannah Cobbs, for example. Telvin Osborne. And just a little while ago, wasn't black women laughing at a couple of passport bros that lost their life overseas just because they want to go overseas and get overseas women? But we supposed to feel bad for the black women that lay up with the oppressors and end up getting unalived? I think not. Well, anyway, black men, I'm going to the store. Y'all want something back? And from now on, anytime something happens to a black woman that's dating outside her race, we drinking water and minding our business. Defending the man who wished to God he woke up a white and put animals above us, but mad because we didn't fight for him. He wouldn't have spit on us if we were on fire. Young lady, I'm not upset that y'all didn't fight for Telvin Osborne. I'm not upset that y'all cracking jokes on him. I'm not even upset that y'all are happy that the woman that unalived him got the charges dropped. The only thing I'm saying is we giving y'all the same energy. Sade Robinson wanted pasta and lobster. She wanted her white knight. She didn't want to be with a black man. She chose to go out there and be with a white man, and y'all already know the history between white people and black people. Again, just like y'all tell us all the time when we date outside our race and something happens to us. This ain't our fight. We drinking water and minding our business. She should have chose her a black man, but she didn't.
One thing I always notice about these people is that they will always use that. See what happens when you speak to a white person? Don't you know the history between black and white people? Trying to wordplay it as if the only people who are likely to kill a black person is a white person, when we know that's not the score. But everybody's colorblind until it's time to have a think piece to fit your own narrative. We can't have these conversations and make it seem as if you date a white person, you run that risk. If you dating anybody randomly, that risk is there. It might be high, it might be low. It all depends on what you willing to do as a risk taker. And it happens with white people, black people, Mexicans. I guess they all got deported. No, I guess they not in this country no fucking more. I don't know what happened to the Asians, but it's always funny hearing people say these things. They know full fucking well it's not just the whites, it's everybody on this damn planet. You gotta have a little bit of an eyebrow raised too, and if you don't admit that, you playing a funny fucking game that you always gonna lose.
She chose a man that looked just like Michael Myers. And y'all say white men are animals, so what did you expect? And what's so crazy is Sade Robinson, her blood is in black women's hands. This on y'all. Because I'm pretty sure the only reason why she was dating that man is because y'all put it out there in the atmosphere that white men are better than black men. White men take care of their children. White men pay all the bills. White men will get with you and take care of you and you won't have to spend a penny. Y'all sent her off. She thought she hit the jackpot. But look at what happened. And again, it's not our fight. RIP to her, but it's not our fight. Hopefully the white men that she loved more than black men get justice for her. It's not our fight.
19-year-old Sade Robinson. She participated in divestation against black men politics. She celebrated black men being unalive. She referred to black men as bullet bags.
Not that I need to say this because you're watching the video, but for anybody who's hearing these people say, oh, she was saying this, she was participating in that, she was talking about black men like this, you might have noticed none of these motherfuckers are showing you proof. They just saying it in the hopes that you would be dumb enough to not even look for it. And at time of recording, again, June 1st, it's 12:45 p.m. None of the shit these people are saying is true about this woman.
She was a product of, she was co-signed, she was coerced, she was encouraged to do sex work as a 19-year-old by other black women. 19-year-old Sade Robinson was unalive by a white man that she was trying to trick with a few days ago. And black women are on here wondering why black men just can't have, they struggling to find empathy and sympathy for a woman that was celebrating some of them being unalive, that was referring to some of them as bullet bags, quote unquote. So it's difficult for black men to find empathy and sympathy for women that are literally telling the internet, hey, we don't associate with black men. We don't want nothing to do with them. And then in the same breath, when, you know, situations like this happen, they want the sympathy and support, emotional support of black men. And it's just crazy how, I mean, are we human at this point?
I think the funniest part is that all these people want to sound smart. All these people want to sound included in the scenario. All these people want to have the gotcha. But the problem is when you are, especially for this motherfucker, spreading a lie that this woman was going around calling people bullet bags, which nobody has found, you are not really a trustworthy individual. But I do like half-heartedly appreciate your dumbass getting back on your platform and saying, hey, you got chewed the fuck out because you was a hurt little bitch trying to spread some misinformation.
I had posted about this young black girl, Sade Robinson, that lost her life at the hands of a white man yesterday. And when I learned about the case, I had learned from a post that was saying, you know, she was a divester and she didn't really, she wasn't finding a black man, for a long story short. And clearly, I done got enough backlash and motherfuckers cutting into me, cussing me the fuck out to see it. I done seen enough to be like, okay, nah, something must be. So I went and Googled this shit. And I'm not saying that the post I saw is untrue. I'm not saying that what the people who's cussing me out are saying is untrue. All I'm saying is take this shit as a lesson. It's not to take narratives and fucking run with it. Do your research before you get to yapping about some shit. I got caught being fucking lazy, trying to talk about some shit and get some views because I thought it was interesting. And I feel like, and it looked like I done put my fucking foot in my mouth.
Don't you worry. You definitely put your foot in your mouth.
Or nothing, but the point of the matter is just that, ain't nobody perfect, but the point of the matter is just like, understand what the fuck you speaking on before you get to speaking on it crazy, how I did yesterday.
This is embarrassing beyond biblical levels. You motherfuckers are hurt by something and you need to heal. I'm not going to tell you get over your pain. I'm going to tell you to heal. Because for you to hear a story about a woman getting murdered and you sit there and say, this is not our fight because a bunch of you women said some things that hurt my feelings. And you can't find any fucking evidence that this woman said that shit. You can't find no evidence that she participated in that shit. All she did was go on a date. And for you motherfuckers that's sitting here waiting for my take on interracial dating, here it is. Go find who you fall in love with. As long as it ain't no fucking kid, I don't fucking care. I'm not having no introspective conversations with a bunch of motherfuckers who can't even date inside their race about a motherfucker dating outside their fucking race. You motherfuckers spend so much time hating each other, no wonder the CIA don't do nothing to divide us no more. They watching y'all do it for free. They ain't gotta put no effort in it. But I'm probably hating on some capacity, in some level, because one of you delusional motherfuckers is gonna say, I don't understand the plot here. So while you continue to write that long paragraph, moral, handle my lightweight, please.
A black woman dies at the hands of a white man. Typically, when that happens, the black community is in uproar on social media. Usually, that's what happens. The black community is in uproar when a black person, female or male, dies at the hands of a white person, because typically they say it's racism. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, all right? It's a gamble. You never know what you're going to get. But typically they're in uproar because it follows that racist narrative, right? That all white people have this racist tendency, and that they always will have this racist tendency, that they will never fully accept the black community because they're just racist at its core. And look, there's a lot of racist white people. There's a lot of people who get on my damn nerves too, okay? Because of racism. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who use terms like black fatigue in order to just talk crap about black people. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is where my black fatigue starts, right here. Because it always seems like, at least on social media, and social media is a whole parallel universe that probably doesn't even actually exist. It's not even real life. But on social media, at least, I always see that it always comes down to, if this does not follow that racist narrative that we're pushing, that all white people are racist, then I don't care about the death, right? Or if the death is at the hands of a white man or a white person willingly, in this case, this black woman was dating this white person, obviously not against her will, then they don't care about the death, because once again, it follows that racist point of view, saying that, see, I told you, see, this is what you get for fucking around with those white folks, for messing around with the white men. If you would have listened, then you would have never died. That's crazy. That mindset is crazy. I just never understand. It never seems like, at least on social media, that we actually care about black deaths when it matters the most, right? Gang violence. And I know, oh my God, here she goes. Oh, Candace Owens. Gang violence. Black on black crime. Black people kill black people more than white people kill black people. But it only seems to matter on social media the most whenever it's at the hands of a white person. Now, once again, in this case, we apparently shouldn't care because she didn't care enough to listen to the black community, right? Very idiotic, ignorant mindset, ignorant behavior, okay? This whole perspective, we're never going to get any further. We're never. Always having this mindset is never going to allow us to actually be in the position that we need to be as a community. A black woman has passed away, okay? And once again, like I was saying before, as much as you would think, as the black community talks about how they care so much about black death, you would think there would be some sympathy towards this person, but there's not, simply because they decided that they wanted to date a white person. I just don't get it. I'll never understand. I'll never understand. To me, this just doesn't make any sense. And it's so crazy because typically the black community loves when a black woman leaves the black community for a white man. For some reason, when it's a black man dating a white girl, it's never good. Never. It's never good. But for some reason, it's like a double standard. It's like when a black woman goes and dates a white man, typically they get praises for it. Why? I don't know. I don't know how that works. Maybe I'm not black enough. I don't fucking know. But for some reason, that's just how it is. But for this case, because the white man actually killed her, they're like, see, I told you. You should have stayed within your race. You should have pulled a Dr. Umar. Even though, doesn't Dr. Umar also date her? Anyways, I'm not even going to go there. But it just seems as if if we continue to just only try to prove the racist narrative and not actually care about the lives that are behind it, we're just never going to get anywhere, ever. So yeah, moral of the story is, you should have sympathy for this woman, okay? You don't have to know her to feel sad about a death. Someone has died. Someone has passed away. We should not use death in order to promote some type of political view. And that's what I feel like is going on. And, the black community always wants to talk about how racism is setting black people back, how racism is still setting black people back. But in my opinion, I think black people are setting black people back more than any other racial demographic, in my opinion. All right? So once again, moral of the story is, stop using people's deaths to push your own political narrative. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
What I need people to understand is that we have reached a very not funny, crucial point in society where, as I predicted, a bunch of hurt people are going to try to navigate conversations. Why? Because at some point in their life, they fell in love with somebody and either got cheated on or their heart got broke. And after all these years, they have not healed. They have not gone through the necessary steps to grieve, to cry, to get mad, and just flip their life around for the better. And it's embarrassing. And I've been a little bit hostile in this video towards a bunch of people, but here's how I choose to bookend this. I'm going to bookend it on a positive note. Look me in my withering eyes. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have love in your life. And I'm not just talking about romance. I'm talking about friendships, family, self-love. These are all amazing options. And you could do one of them. You could do a few of them. You could do all of them. And it's amazing. But it's only if you dedicate time to yourself and improving you so that when you do meet somebody that you won't do the devil's tango with, you can actually fall in love and be happy with them. You can meet a random stranger and y'all can bond about something and you could be friends. You can rekindle some lost bonds with some family and it could be oh so fucking grandiose. But you're not gonna do that bitching and moaning about the opposite fucking sex and how they gotta be on their knees serving you, or how I gotta spend all their money on you, or how you ain't gotta care about their emotional fucking stress because you need your attention more than they need their fucking standards to live, because boundaries don't mean shit with a bunch of people who can't even respect to wake up and wash their mouth in the fucking morning. And the biblical thing that I gotta go with is that you people are that damn miserable, and I know you want company, but allow me to be the person to inspire everybody. Don't be around all this miserable shit. Don't be around all these podcasts full of motherfuckers who gotta pay for pussy, pay for dick, probably got cheated on somebody, abused somebody, or doesn't really understand how to talk to the opposite sex. And I know you think this is just me talking about one group. No. It's all you motherfuckers that do it, man, woman, because I see these things, and every time I hear it, I feel like I've been violated in my ears, because it's single people trying to incorporate their beliefs into other single people to remain single. And that shit is fucking sad. It is the worst thing anyone could possibly do. And it's embarrassing, especially when we're sitting around compiling all our hurt feelings and we're looking at a random story where everybody should be in agreement that a motherfucker deserves the chair for killing somebody, and you motherfuckers are saying, but remember when a bunch of random black women called us bullet bags? Fuck y'all. Justice for Sade Robinson, or Sade Robinson. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name at any point. You can subscribe to Moral because, hey, I got women in my life I care about. Love Moral. Will always love Moral to death. And I will not allow any loser single motherfucker to try to incorporate loserness in my life. Subscribe to this channel if you enjoy. I'll see y'all in the next one. Mwah. Go be happy.